We have children. How old are the children, Mr. Leon?
13, 12, and 11.
All right, so you have a 13, 12, and 11-year-old who sees or hears this altercation between parents. Then the police are called. You're leaving from the police. She's saying she has a bloody nose. Then you're trying to take the children with you. And then the police are telling you to stop and you run off with the children. And then you come back and then the children go back in the home. And then two other children want to leave with State of Texas versus Pio Quinto. Leon, can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
Defense?
Winnie McClellan for the defense.
And are you Mr. Leon?
Yes.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Leon, I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married cohabitating.
All right, you all need to be quiet in the box while we're on the record. Any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Leon, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married, or cohabitation as a Class A misdemeanor? The range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Leon, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married, or cohabitation. Punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. There's an $800 fine. State recommends community supervision. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as a primary custodial parent? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court is going to find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor. We would like to address the fine at the appropriate time.
All right. So let's address the no harmful or injurious contact. I don't think these two people should have contact with each other.
They do have 3 kids together, and they've been married and put together for 13 years. And
Well, it appears that that marriage is not going well. If people are cheating, allegedly, if people are hitting other people, allegedly, then it appears to me that this relationship should be over. And for this to have occurred when the children were there, that's an issue. And so we have children. How old are the children, Mr. Leon?
13, 12, and 11.
All right, so you have a 13, 12, and 11-year-old who sees or hears this altercation between parents. Then the police are called. You're leaving from the police. She's saying she has a bloody nose. Then you're trying to take the children with you. And then the police are telling you to stop and you run off with the children. And then you come back and then the children go back in the home. And then two other children want to leave with you and not stay with her. And then you have each other speaking ill of each other. It seems like this relationship is over. At least it's going to be over with in the 187 District Court. Now, what y'all do after this probation is over with is completely up to you all, but it appears that this is not a good relationship. So where you been staying?
I have been with my mother.
All right, probably best that you continue to do that. And is there a third party that you all can exchange visitation with?
My mother-in-law.
Okay. And I don't have the complainant before me, because otherwise people who want to continue in their relationship, I could say, hey, then maybe y'all both should be in counseling before they're spending the night and all of this. But I only have jurisdiction over you. Are you employed?
No.
So how are you supporting yourself?
I do painting projects.
All right, you're gonna have to get a job. You're supporting three
Yeah,
children.
I had a job as an operations manager, but because of this, I went to jail and I lost my job.
All right, so you're gonna have to find a regular job because you have children to support, okay? How often do you see your children?
I haven't seen them since that incident.
Okay. All right, the court is gonna follow your agreement. There's an $800 fine that will be probated. Proof of employment within 30 days. And there's a lot of seasonal employment that's available now.
Yes.
There's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. I'll sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, 150 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to do that, but if you do with booster, 40 of those hours will be waived. There's going to be parenting classes with Triple T. Once that's completed, the remaining of your community service hours will be waived. There's to be no contact with Adriana, Adriana, Leon, the BIPP course. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There'll be one field visit per month. Probation, if you want to count that field visit as reporting, you can. And there's to be regular UAs. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you need to be honest with me.
Clean.
When's the last time you used?
I don't use drugs or alcohol.
Well, what was this marijuana that's in the police report?
She came to the house with like a little bag of marijuana, and that's what the argument about that I told her that when we were arguing, the kids were in school during that time. They were not present.
Well, no, I mean, the argument wasn't about marijuana because.
No, because I found her cheating with a man. Supposedly she said she was working, and I happened to be early home and I saw her with a man coming out of a storage, and that was the agreement. What I saw, and I told her, you know, I'm just gonna go home and I'm gonna wait for my kids and I'm gonna tell them I'm leaving home peacefully. There was no hiding.
Okay. All right. We'll do regular UAs. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court? All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I understand.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, good luck to you. Make better choices. State of Texas versus Pio Quinto Leon. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Second for the state, Your Honor.
Kim Gonzalez for defense.
And are you Mr. Leon?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you're standing in because
For Mr. Locke, that she had something this afternoon he had to be on time for, so.
It has Jennifer Locke listed as the attorney.
That may be because she's on the bond, Judge.
Okay. All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery that you reviewed with your client?
Yes, Judge.
And do you have any objection to this attorney standing in?
No, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
understand it?
Yes, I understand.
And did you sign it?
Yes.
Going to show you what's entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 in the Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 26.03. Did you have a chance to review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear this case and make a decision on whether or not to hold you over for trial, i.e. indict you? Did you understand?
Yes, I understand. Your Honor.
Did you understand that your attorney has certain rights, namely 3 days from the presentation of the information, 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Showing you what's entitled Information. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are prepared to do that, Judge.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, we're just respectfully asking that the court follow the plea agreement. We've had lengthy discussions about what is and is not acceptable and what is expected of the court. And he understands that there is to be no contact going forward and that the only thing he needs to focus on is the civil issues going forward and keeping the kids in a safe place and worrying about following custody orders as well as your orders, Your Honor.
All right, so why shouldn't I send him to prison? That's my question.
Judge, I think there's been a toxic environment and relationship between the parties. I think they finally realized that, I know it appears to be one-sided, but there have been two-sided issues for a few years now, some infidelity and some things like that. I think now they're finally at a point where they're really able to.
Well, if people cheat on you, you have two options. Either you accept it and you forgive, or either you tell them, I'm not going to be with you anymore. I don't know why people think that infidelity means, oh, I get to hit on somebody. Oh, DeWalt, you raising your hand? Have you been cheated on?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. I was like, what? All right. I was like, what? Because I don't believe that.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Yes.
I do agree, and I forgave her for doing that. She's been going in and out, cheating on me, and I respect that. I have not hit her at all. But yeah, I understand this being a toxic relationship. I think it's best for me to have no contact with her.
All right. Are you employed?
Yes,
What do you do?
I work for SureMed. It's an emergency medical services.
All
I'm a
right.
driver.
Okay. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication, the BIPP course. This will run concurrent with 2022 CR 9798. There's an affirmative finding. And I'm sorry, did you realize with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, I understand.
And that you realize with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
And knowing that you still wish for the court to follow this plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there'll be an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Adriana Leon outside of court proceedings.
Yes, Your Honor.
So when you're in court and you all are sitting at the table, that's as close as ever you're going to be to her. When she leaves the courtroom, you wait till she leaves the building and leaves the premises. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Your relationship with her is over in the sense that you have no contact with her.
Yes.
If you all have a custody arrangements with the children, that needs to be done through a third party. You understand?
Yes, I understand. Your Honor.
That means that you are not going to send her a card saying Happy Mother's Day. You understand?
Yes, I understand. Your Honor.
The relationship is over.
Yes.
All right. There's going to be proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. You are to follow all civil judgments and orders as it relates to child custody. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. You are to do intensive parenting classes. There's to be a rejection of grand jury number 809802. They're taking in consideration grand jury number 802090. There's to be regular UAs. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. How's child custody arrangements currently?
Right now, there's not any visitation, Judge.
All right. So I'm going to order no unsupervised contact with minors until further notice. If for some reason the civil side says he's allowed to have contact, unsupervised contact, then you all can come back to the court.
Yes, Judge.
All right. Probation, is there anything else he needs? We can do a TAP evaluation out of custody and follow TAP recommendations. If TAP recommends inpatient treatment, we'll start with outpatient treatment. All right, is there anything else?
It's just we just want to make sure we had the withdrawal of the MTR, so there's no.
Oh, they'll have to file the motion. I haven't
think he
received it.
has. I think he has.
Your Honor, state's already signed off.
Okay,
And I believe that's it, but may we be excused?
just a moment. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. And I'm sorry, just one more thing, because I have concerns. I'm going to order GPS partial, and I'll waive the fees. And he's allowed to work, and he's allowed to go to all court hearings. And then if you want to approach the court in 4 months' time, you can come back. And if there are no violations, the court will strongly consider removing it.
We'll do that. Thank you, Judge.
Yes. Just- All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I read the report. And honestly, the main reason that you are now on deferred adjudication and not at the prison is because the complainant wants you to be on probation and not at the prison. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
That day is a day that your 12-year-old will forever remember. And how many children do you have?
3 boys.
3 boys.
Yes.
So let me just tell you what your boys have learned from you and in this toxic relationship. They've learned that toxic relationships are the norm. They've learned that if you love somebody, you hit them. And it's going to take a lot to undo that. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. State versus Pio Quinto Leon. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Enriquez for Pio Quinto Leon. Present for John Coons.
All right, and are you Pio Quinto Leon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record. If you'll state your name for the record.
Pio Quinto Leon.
All right. Do you have any objections to Attorney Enriquez standing in for Mr. Coons?
No, Your Honor.
All right. State any objections to her standing in?
No, Your Honor.
Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge.
And what is that?
Your Honor, just have requested to follow probation's recommendations, which include their ISF with ISP after completing the program.
Where has he been since 2023?
Your Honor, my client tells me that he pled in November. He originally had a condition to have a GPS leg monitor for the first 90 days. His attorney Shannon Locke filed a motion to have that amended. It was removed a month late after a month of no violations.
All right, everyone, please whisper.
And then he tells me that they gave him a date to show up to get the monitor put back on, and there was some confusion because he thought the motion was granted, so he wanted to consult with his attorney and couldn't make the given appointment because of work, and made attempts with his probation officer to reschedule the appointment and was never able to get a hold of her, and then just admittedly did not report for the next 5-ish months until he was picked up on the MTR.
So he's been missing since 2023?
Since December of 23, yes. And well, he's actually been in custody, Your Honor, since this summer on the MTR before this court date. So he got picked up in June?
June 11th.
Yeah, he was picked up on the MTR in June. So he's actually been in custody on the MTR since June.
All right, so why has he been in custody since June on a motion to revoke and he hasn't been before the court?
Mr. Kuntz was appointed less than a month ago. I'm not sure if there was a previous attorney. It looks like we were appointed mid-September.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, why hasn't he been brought over to the court if he's been in custody since, you say June?
Yes, June 11th.
I believe that's
June
correct.
11th.
I have the
And this
case.
is a motion to revoke. All right, let's look in the system.
County Court at 9, we called 2 warrants on my client. She's gonna call him to tell him on it.
The case events on Odyssey show that he was picked up on the warrant on June 17th is what he says 11th, but it says on the, at least on the system, it says 17th. There was a supplemental motion filed on July 1st.
Well, for me, that's still,
And then Alan Kuntz was appointed on September 12th.
all right. Everyone, we're on the record, so please don't approach the coordinator, don't approach the deputies, we're on the record. All right, that still is a problem for the court, that somebody has been in jail since June, and we're just having a motion to revoke hearing. Now, I do see that he had a hearing on June 17th, 2024 before a magistrate.
That's when he was arrested.
And then this is the first setting that we've had. This is unacceptable for the court, that somebody has been in custody since June, waiting for a hearing on a motion to revoke, and here we are in October having a hearing. All right. So somebody needs to explain to me why I should follow your agreement, because regardless, he's been missing. And I'm not even going to count the June dates. If I sentence him, he'll receive credit for that time. But he's been missing since 2023 of December. So that's December, January, February, March, April, May. He's been missing for 6 months. So that needs to be addressed with the court, because I don't think he's a good candidate anymore.
Your Honor, he admittedly absconded after not being able to schedule that appointment, which I understand is not an acceptable excuse, but he admittedly absconded and I mean, he's had consequences. He's been in custody for several months now, and he's agreeing to stay in custody. It looks like, according to probation, the program that he is agreeing to as part of our agreement with the state is local ISF from anywhere to 90 to 120 days based on his own progress. So if he is not progressing in the program, he'll stay for up to 120 days. And there's a 2 to 6 week wait for a bed. So, I mean, he's going to be in custody for several more months and then still has several years of probation to prove to the court that he can follow rules, but he didn't.
Can I see the file, Sam, please?
He's accepting what I believe is
Probation.
a significant consequence of his freedom.
Oh, no, I'm good. All right, so this is what the court is going to do. In 2022 CR 9798. I'm sorry, probation, is this your recommendation? All right, any objections to the court review and the court summary?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
The court summary on the very first page actually makes mention of the scheduled appointment that my client informed me about.
All right, so I see that he was made aware that he had a warrant and he needs to surrender himself to the Bexar County Jail on December 1st, 2023. It states, call probationer to inform him to surrender to the Bexar County Jail and get his GPS installed. He stated he would call his lawyer before surrendering. And then on December 11th, 2023, he was notified that there was a warrant and to surrender himself. Then as I look at another page from the court summary, it says the victim contacted this officer on September 29, 2024 and stated probationer called her from jail and made threats to harm her current partner when he's released.
And Your Honor, the state waived that allegation.
Okay. All right, I won't consider it because you're correct, it was waived. It's just in the court summary. So, Mr. Leon, I'm not considering that at all. You understand? Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. And cause number 2022 CR 9798, the court is going to grant the motion. The court is going to sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's an $800 fine, time and money for run concurrent. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Adriana, Leon, and this will run concurrent with (2023) CR 10531W. All right, and that cause number, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on community supervision. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, and because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to attorney. In 2023 CR 10531W, the court is going to grant the motion find you guilty, revoke, give you credit for any time served. The range of punishment in that case is anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Defense, do you wish to speak to punishment?
Yes, Your Honor, let me confirm with my count, just briefly.
Yes.
Ask. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, I'll hear.
I just wanted to confirm before stating with the court that it's my understanding he has no prior felony criminal history, possibly no criminal history. I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to misstate that from the court. But definitely no felony history from what I just conferred with.
All right,
my
everyone,
master.
please whisper. All right, you may continue.
Yes, and we went in with the understanding and he knew that he was going to admit that he'd violated and that it was up to the court what happened. So he was well aware of that. That's something we discussed. But I mean, you've seen that he admitted, he didn't try to contest the allegations. He admitted that he absconded. He admitted that there was no real credible good excuse, other than he was just here in San Antonio working. He has been in custody since June of this year, kind of in limbo, not knowing what was going to happen, not having an attorney and not being brought to court. So I'm sure that was, I'm assuming and speculating, admittedly, that was worrisome during that time period. And also he was agreeing to be on supervision for several, I believe 6 more years and take consequence. So in light of all that, we would, and in light of not having any prior criminal history, we would ask that the court assess the minimum, which would be 2 years.
Right. All right. And that cause number, the court is going to find you guilty. The court will revoke, give you credit for any time served. This is run concurrent with 2022 CR 9798. There's to be no contact with Adriana Leon. There's an affirmative finding of family violence and the court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Your counsel made very compelling arguments. That's why your sentence is as it is and not more. Do you understand?
Understood.
All right. When you are released, if I'm still here, if there's something you need with help for any type of issues you may have, you can come back to the court and I will pick up the phone and call someone to help you. What you need to understand is you're not allowed to have any contact with Miss Leon. Do you understand?
Yes, I
Do
understand.
you all have children together?
Yes.
All right. So if you wish to see your children, you need to do that through a third party, but you can't contact her. Okay. And guess what? When we're away, and when people say relationships are over, they're over. And when they meet somebody new, you got to accept. They've moved on. So you got to move on. As my grandmother would say, even if you're crying, just cry on the inside and keep it moving. Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Have a seat, sir.